NotebookLM just rolled out several new free features and hardly anyone is talking about them. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what changed, how to use these features, and the new things you can now do with NotebookLM. The first upgrade is going to be to the Video Overviews feature. NotebookLM can now generate cinematic videos from your sources. When creating a video overview, you can choose between two formats. There is an explainer video and a brief video. Explainer videos go deeper and walk through everything in the sources. Brief videos give you a quicker overview. So if you want a quick summary, you would choose brief. If you want a deeper breakdown, you would choose explainer. You can also choose the language and the visual style. There are several styles including classic, whiteboard, kawaii, anime, watercolor, retro print, heritage, and papercraft. You can also choose a custom style where you describe the exact visual aesthetic you want. Personally, I like the whiteboard style because it creates animated explainer videos. These do well on social media. They're great for internal videos or just for trying to learn things. It's really crazy that this tool can now go through and generate these simply by you providing the sources and some context around what you want included. For the best results with this feature, I would recommend that you add as much context as possible. I see so many people make the mistake of providing no context and then they get a subpar result. Once the video finishes generating, you can open the menu to view the prompt that created it, rename the file, download it, or share it. When you play the video, it walks through the topic visually and explains the concept step by step. This opens up interesting possibilities. You could turn research into explainer videos, create educational content, or produce short informational videos based on your notes. The next big change is the ability to create fully customizable infographics. Let me show you what this looks like. Inside NotebookLM, I have a project about exotic cars, garage upgrades, collections, and related topics. If we open it up, this notebook is basically a guide about how to make money with cars in 2026. This is a topic that I am personally very interested in, and there is a lot of great content out there about it. Now here's where the new feature comes in. NotebookLM can generate infographics directly from your notes. If we click the pencil icon, we can customize exactly how the infographic will look. You can now choose the visual style. The options include auto select, sketch, kawaii, professional, scientific, anime, clay, editorial, instructional, bento grid, and bricks. For this example, I am going to choose instructional. Next, you can choose the orientation. Landscape works well for blog posts. Square works well for social media. Portrait is ideal for vertical formats. Then we can select the level of detail. There is detailed, standard, and concise. Personally, I prefer concise because it keeps things cleaner and limits the amount of text. I will also update the title to How to Make Money on Exotic Cars and click Generate. NotebookLM now creates the infographic. The biggest improvement here is that you can control the visual style, the layout, and the amount of information shown. This means you can create social media graphics directly from your research. You can also guide the design with custom instructions. For example, you can specify colors, branding, or the focus of the graphic. Once the infographic is generated, you can view the prompt that created it, download it, rename it, or share it. If we open it up, you can see the result. We now have a full visual roadmap showing steps for making money with exotic cars. It includes visuals, icons, and structured steps that match the topic. This is powerful because you can now generate graphics for your website, presentations, or social media without needing design tools. In the past, these used to take hours to create, but now with the help of NotebookLM, you can have them made in minutes. Another upgrade is the ability to change how NotebookLM interacts with you. You can switch between different response modes. For example, there is a default mode and a learning guide mode. You can also customize it for specific tasks like preparing for meetings, studying for exams, or working on a class project. In addition to that, you can control response length. You can ask for shorter answers or longer detailed explanations. This makes it really easy to customize NotebookLM to what you're trying to use it for. I know some of you are using it for school, for fun, or potentially for work. In addition, NotebookLM now also gives you more control over where it pulls information from. You can allow it to search the web for sources or pull information from your own files and drives. If web research is enabled, you can choose between fast research and deep research. Fast research looks for quick answers. Deep research searches more sources and builds a more detailed response. This makes it really easy to constantly add in new sources and references to what you're doing, and it's one of my favorite features. Now, before I get into the rest of the changes that are only going to keep getting crazier and crazier, I wanted to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more about AI. I create videos like this 3 times a week that you won't want to miss. The next big upgrade is the ability to revise generated slide decks. For example, I have a presentation here about the Great Depression. If we open it up, you can see the slides that NotebookLM generated automatically. From here, you can download the slides as a PDF or share them with other people. You can share just the chat, the entire notebook, or the slides themselves, but now you can also revise the deck. If we click the menu and choose Revise, we can change specific parts of the presentation. For example, I can tell it to make the red color brighter. On another slide, I can ask it to make the green brighter. Once those changes are added, we click Generate New Deck. What's nice about this is that it is only going to regenerate the slides that contain changes. This means that the new deck gets created way faster than the first one. On top of that, NotebookLM creates a new version of the presentation while keeping the original. That means you can compare versions or combine the best slides from each. Now that the revised slide deck has finished generating, we can compare the two versions. The original slide has a dull red color. The updated version shows a brighter red and brighter green, exactly like we requested. The rest of the slides stayed the same. This means NotebookLM made the changes without altering the other parts of the presentation, and it generated the new version very quickly. Another powerful update is that NotebookLM can now be used inside Google Gems. If you open the Gems section in Gemini, you will see several pre-built gems created by Google, but you can also scroll down and create your own custom gem. To demonstrate this, we can click New Gem and create one focused on Yellowstone. We will name it Yellowstone Gem, and the description can simply say that this gem provides information about Yellowstone. Now we can turn this into a Yellowstone expert. Inside the instructions field, we can start with something simple like, "You are a Yellowstone expert." Instead of writing the full prompt ourselves, we can click Rewrite. Gemini will automatically expand that instruction into a much more detailed system prompt. It builds out the full structure for the AI, including its purpose, its goals, how it should behave, the type of expertise it should provide, and the tone it should use when responding. All of that is generated instantly from a single short instruction. Next, we can choose what tools this gem has access to. In this example, we will enable deep research so it can pull in detailed information. Now we move to the knowledge section. This is where the NotebookLM integration comes in. If we click the plus button, we can add a NotebookLM notebook as a knowledge source. For example, we could attach a notebook that contains information about the Yellowstone Park Show and the Yellowstone Supervolcano. Once this notebook is connected, the gem now has access to that information. What makes this interesting is that the user interacting with the gem will not see that this notebook was added. From the user's perspective, it just looks like the gem is answering questions normally, but in reality, it is referencing a private knowledge base that we attach behind the scenes. That means the gem can be powered by proprietary data stored inside NotebookLM. If we look at the notebook itself, we can see it contains information pulled from multiple sources. Those sources can include documents, websites, research, and other files. You can also build additional assets inside the NotebookLM Studio to support the gem. This essentially allows you to create AI tools that run on top of your own curated data. There is another related upgrade that is extremely useful. Inside a normal Gemini chat, you can now attach NotebookLM notebooks directly to the conversation. If we open a new chat in Gemini, we can click the attachment option and select notebook files. For example, we could attach a notebook about Yellowstone. We could also attach another notebook focused on animal behavior and geological disaster prediction. Now Gemini has access to both notebooks at the same time. We can ask it to combine the information from both sources. For example, we could prompt it to combine the notebooks and create a landing page summarizing the information. To make this even more interesting, we can enable Canvas. Canvas allows Gemini to generate structured outputs like documents, layouts, or pages that you can interact with directly. So the workflow becomes pretty powerful. We attach two notebooks inside Gemini. We ask Gemini to combine their information. Then we tell it to generate a landing page inside Canvas. Gemini processes both notebooks and produces a structured landing page layout based on the combined data. This allows you to turn research stored in NotebookLM into websites, summaries, or other structured content inside Gemini. Now, the final changes are going to be to the quiz and flashcard tools. If you're in school or trying to learn a new topic, these are going to be incredibly useful. And the new customization that they have is incredibly useful. If we open the flashcard settings, we can now control how many cards are generated. You can choose fewer cards, a standard amount, or more cards. You can also select the difficulty level. There are options for easy, medium, and hard. You can even restrict the flashcards to specific sources or focus on certain topics. This makes it extremely useful for studying or learning new material. There is now also a quiz generator. It works very similarly to the flashcards. You can choose how many questions are generated, adjust the difficulty level, and focus on specific concepts. I really wish I had this when I was back in school. This would have made studying for exams a lot easier, both as a group and on my own. If you enjoyed this video, you should check out this video here that walks you through a bunch of other upgrades that Google Gemini just dropped. If that sounds interesting, check it out here.